Hi, folks. Welcome to Art of the City. Today we have an amazing tribute show for you. And I wanted to just kind of share before I got started because we really have a pretty amazing lineup of folks. Just the vision for Art of the City. As many of you know who've been following this live stream, we started this particular part of Art of the City online when COVID hit. And we've had the opportunity to interview over 40 amazing artists from all walks of life and from all disciplines of art, including music, dance, fine art, cuisine. We really have covered the gamut of great talent and have brought it here live. And one of the folks that came on the show early on with the COVID was this young man who really has blessed the entire world through his talent of dance. And many of you are streaming in. I'm going to give you a minute to come on into the show. But this artist has really been one of those from a young child who excelled in his dance, but also became a great actor. And he was involved in many different types of dance, not just the hoop dance that you folks know him about, but also with the Brooklyn Ballet. So he has really touched a lot of lives, and you know who I'm talking about. And he is what we're here for today. And that artist is Nakotah LaRance. And I'm very excited to be able to host this tribute show for him. So without further ado, I have a couple of students that are going to be coming on, Francesca and Josiah. These are young people who have been following in his footsteps, and they have been so, I think, touched by his life that they want to bring in their own celebration of his life through hoop dance. So let's see if we can get them to come on live. They're coming in from Santa Fe, right outside of Santa Fe, in a sacred hoop dance circle. And let's see if we can get them there. Hi, can you guys see me? Welcome to Art of the City. Let's see if we can get them to come on. Okay, it looks like they're getting warmed up here. And we'll just give them a chance to come on to the show. And then I'm going to go ahead and reduce my screen here, and then we can get a better view.
How's that, Ruth-Ann?
That's perfect. And I'm going to reduce my screen here, George, so we can get a really nice view of this celebration here.
Okay. Let me get the drummer in the picture here.
Okay.
There we go. I think that's about the best view there.
That looks wonderful. And George, can you let
we
the
have a
folks
fire
know
burning
where
in the mountains, so
it looks beautiful today there. Can you let the folks know where you're streaming from, George?
yes, we're here at George Rivera Studio in Ohkay Pueblo, New Mexico, just 15 minutes from downtown Santa Fe. And
Beautiful.
This is a dance circle that we created for the hoop dancers. And we have Josiah and Francesca going to dance, and Edwin is the singer. Are you ready for them?
Yes, we're ready.
They're ready for you. All right, here we go. Beautiful. All right, there you go. There's a hoop dance to honor Nakotah LaRance. You there, Ruth-Ann?
I'm here. I'm just trying to get the.
Okay, I'm gonna come inside. We could talk to Felicia and Steve. Who'd you want to talk to next?
We're
Felicia?
just trying to get the camera to work here.
Okay.
But George, since you can hear me and I think my audio is working, let's go ahead and have you and Felicia talk a little bit about the Lightning Boy Foundation and also your experience with Nakotah, because I know that he was an instrumental part of your foundation and also working with your son.
Okay, here we go. Here's Felicia.
Hi, Ruth-Ann.
Hi, Felicia. My camera's going to come back in a minute.
Okay.
I can see you, Ruth-Ann.
Oh, you can? Okay, maybe
Yeah.
everybody can see me then.
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay, great. Well, let's go ahead and I'd love to hear your take on this long journey that you folks have spent together as a family, because I know that this has been something that has been part of your community, part of your family, and something that's quite close to your heart for many reasons.
Sure. So first of all, the two dancers that we had out there are Francesca and Josiah, and they were part of the original group that that we started with Nakotah and Steve LaRance at the Pueblo of Pewaukee, and our son Valentino also was with that group. So they've been with Nakotah the instructor for I think about 8 years now, since 2013. So what happened then after our son was injured in an accident, and Nakotah still was his hoop dance and the instruction that Nakotah had given him and the empowerment that he got from learning the hoop dance through Nakotah was an instrumental part in his recovery that he had for a year. And Nakotah was still a very big part of our life. He spent a lot of nights here at the house with Valentino as he recovered. When Valentino passed away, we started the Lightning Boy Foundation, which was open to a broader community of Native youth. So I think I was talking to the other coordinator, the Pueblo of Pewaukee coordinator, and they have 16 dancers. We have 25 dancers. So those are all Nakotah's kids. He considered them his kids, and he's just been a really big part of all of their lives, and just a huge part of our family's life too. Just he is family. He's more than an instructor. He's more than a friend. He's family.
I can't hear you, Ruth-Ann.
Can they hear her there?
We can hear you. Can't hear Ruth-Ann. So you're still live.
Okay.
Just keep talking. What have you guys been doing with Lightning Boy Foundation?
So until we figure out what's going on with our connection, the COVID had really impacted our group. It's been really hard being away from everybody. We at this point during the summer months, we would be dancing. They would be dancing at least 2 to 3 times a week. For Indian Market, we'd have several opportunities to dance. It's been really hard for everybody in the art community. I think whether you're a performance artist, a visual artist, we really have been anxious to get back to, I guess, the new normal, and try to practice all the arts. And that was kind of our plan. The last time that we talked to Nakotah, we were getting started to try to get back together and start continuing with our programming. So There you
There
are.
we are. Yes. Okay, go ahead. I could hear everything that you said, and it is so beautiful. And sometimes this technology, this is the first time it's happened on my end. It's always everybody else. So now I know how you folks feel when you're trying to get onto this show. But Felicia, please continue because it's really beautiful. I love what you're saying.
Okay, sure. So yeah, I think we all our kids have a really unique life, and the way that we're all connected through the arts, whether it's visual arts or performance arts. And I think that's kind of how Nakotah started out too, going to the art shows with his family, and they're all jewelers.
Right.
And you know, I think we're all kind of trying to figure out how to work through this, the impact of COVID, and also the impact of losing such a unique soul. um, I it's really hard to put into words how important Nakotah was in our life, and just the connection that he had with our son. They were so similar, even though there was such a big age difference. They were so similar. They had this um, just huge energy, and the hoop dance and other activities that they practiced was kind of like an outlet so that they could just like expend all their energy and be able to um, still sit down at the end of the day and be with their family too. And I think that's what's kind of needed in all of these communities too, just to have programming like that, where the youth can have an outlet to share their positive energy, because they have so much, and this COVID is like really, it's hard to get through it with young people, because they want to be out there and they want to be together and they want to do something fun. So
Well, and I think in this time, it's one of those things that we can all really be very appreciative when we can do all of these things. And I think, you know, having done the interview with George and really hearing both you and George's story about your son, and he was so young, but had such a full life and had such an impact. And really, I think a lot of kids looked up to your son, even though he was very young, in the same way that kids all over the world looked up to Nakotah. So, you know, whether our lives are long or short, we don't always get an opportunity to judge. But both of these young men's lives were so full and rich in the time that they were supposed to be here on the planet. So
yeah.
that's what I love about you guys, because you have taken that and you have taken that legacy, and now you're blessing all these other children in the name of your children. And I know Steve is doing the same today. So it's really great.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of how we can judge the life that both Valentino and Nakotah led, is now that they're not with us, it makes us want to do better, be better, and carry on their legacy. And what Nakotah did in his lifetime was just so important. And I think now that he's not here with us, it really has hit us how important the work he did. And he made it look easy and he made it look fun, and it didn't seem like work when he was working with the kids. But they need him. They needed him, and we need to take what he taught us as the leaders of our programming, and just continue, not let it stop us, and just continue his legacy in teaching.
Well said. I love that. That was beautiful. Does George maybe want to add a little something?
Sure. Let's flip the
Hi.
camera.
Oh, here I am.
Okay. Hi, George.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the two teenagers that were dancing out there today, and it's interesting because prior to Nakotah coming to New Mexico and living at his mom's Pueblo, Ohkay Owingeh, there really wasn't a hoop dance program out here. And so he revitalized a dance that started here in northern New Mexico in Taos, and something that generations did, and then it died out. And here was this young man who had been traveling the world, showing the world this hoop dance. We didn't know him then, and he stepped into our lives, and he wanted to give back to the kids, and that was his favorite thing, was to spend time with the kids, and he did it. I mean, just over 50 students have gone through his class, and that's not the biggest number, but when you're talking about hoop dancing, it's a very challenging dance. So a lot of people would try it one day or 2 days, and then they weren't able to come back or whatever. But the ones that stuck with it and that have been doing it for years, they're really good, and they really appreciate how it changes their life. It gives them a lot of inspiration, motivation, confidence, and they're able to use that in everything in their life now. So the hoop dance was more than just learning dance. It was learning a life skill. It's like a survival skill, really. And Nakotah was the best dancer that I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of hoop dancers. And he may have not won all the competitions. He won quite a few, but he was the guy that had probably the most unique dance style of anybody that I've seen dance. And so that's what separated him from the rest, is that he had gone around the world. He had picked up this international flair in his dancing, where he could hoop dance or bring in anything that was like an ancient dance, all the way to a traditional Pueblo dance and to a modern hip hop dance, and transcend that out for people to see. And so a lot of people couldn't necessarily describe what they were looking at, but they knew that it was different, and they knew that this guy was amazing. And so that's why he was such a good teacher, because all the kids were trying to emanate those moves, and so they got really good really fast, because you learn from the best, you get good really quick. And so we feel that the young hoop dance teenagers that we have, and the rest of Nakotah's family that dances, they're going to be able to carry on his legacy. And through Lightning Boy being out there, when COVID is over and they can do public performances again, Lightning Boy will still be strong, and the kids will still be out there performing, and
That's so beautiful.
Nakotah's legacy will live on.
And for those of you who don't know about the Lightning Boy Foundation, it's something that the LaRance family has been very much involved with. George and Felicia are the ones who founded it, and it's a really great place if you want to support a cause to continue on with the legacy. George, I don't know about your dancers that are there. I know they both might want to say a little something.
Yeah.
I know they probably are still, when I watch it, I'm always thinking you're going to be pretty breathless after that, but would they like to come on?
Yeah, I'm going to bring them on. They're coming on in. Once again, Ruth-Ann, thanks for setting up this program and honoring Nakotah while they come in, and then we'll try to have Steve on as well.
It's my honor, George. I feel so honored to be able to bring this on this live platform. And, for me, I think it's really touching to me because of the fact that it made me realize after that last live interview that we had where he was dancing, that we caught that on tape, this historical moment, and it made me that much more inspired to continue to do what we do, which is, record historical moments with great artists like yourself, like Steve, like every artist that comes along deserves to have that moment where they're preserved in time. And so today, I'm just hoping that people get a minute to maybe take another look if you haven't seen this amazing artist, and hear the stories that what he's left behind. So it's
Here
important.
is Josiah Enriquez.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
So tell us a little bit about your experience with Nakotah.
Well, when I first started hoop dancing, I didn't want to do it at first. It was something that I was like, oh, I already know how to do that. But the first class that I attended, Nakotah had done a performance, and the way he would move his hoops around, flip him, and him flipping around too was like really drawed my attention towards hoop dancing. And since then, he's been a really good mentor and teacher to me.
That's wonderful. What a great opportunity to be mentored by somebody like that as well.
Yeah, one of the best.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Appreciate that.
Francesca.
And,
Okay, we lost Francesca. She left, but
oh,
you have
okay,
questions for Josiah?
okay.
How
Well,
many
thank
years
you
you been
so
dancing?
much, Josiah, also for your beautiful performance.
You're welcome.
And I think that, you know, if you keep it up, you never know, you're going to be with Cirque du Soleil as well someday.
Yeah, thank you, and it was an honor dancing for you guys. As Nakotah always told me, do you, make it your style, and that's what I've been doing ever since the first dance ever since I first held a hoop.
That's beautiful. And that's what it is, you know, let the world see your light shine. I love that. Thank you so much for dancing.
All right.
All right. Well, George, we're going to cut out from you folks, and then I think we'll come back in towards the end and let Steve kind of absorb all of this love coming towards his family and
Okay.
for Nakotah. But thank you guys so much for what you do. And we're going to have a few more people on the show, and then we'll come back to you guys.
Okay, we'll be
Okay.
watching you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So folks, thanks so much for bearing with us with the little glitches in technology. And I know that we're going to see, I know that they're filming over there the live performance of that hoop dance. And what we're going to do is put that up on YouTube. I know it can be a little pixelated sometimes, so that way you can see it. But the next person I have was not able to come on live, but was gracious enough to do a video for us, and that is the mayor of Santa Fe. He has been instrumental for Native Americans in Santa Fe to bring forth culture and to really be an advocate on behalf of Indian country. I had a chance to meet him when I was there last year, and that is Alan Weber. And so here's a message from the mayor of Santa Fe.
Hi, Mayor Alan Weber speaking to you from the Mayor's office in Santa Fe. I just want to say a few words about a remarkable talent, artist, and a young man, Nakotah LaRance, who we sadly lost last month. He was truly a special part of our community, a remarkable dancer, but even more than that, a remarkable individual. I had the great privilege and honor of watching him perform more than once, and to be awed by the skill and presence, the charisma that he radiated. For us to lose him in person is a tragedy, but for us to have had him here in our community was a gift. So please, let's honor his memory, let's honor his presence, let's thank his family and the community that he was a part of, and remember him and what he brought to us as part of his legacy. Thank you.
Okay, so that was the mayor. And again, I know we've got a little glitches coming in here when we have a lot of people coming onto the internet at the same time. It could be a little bit of a challenge, but hopefully you were able to hear the mayor's message, and we'll have to see if we can get this to come back live. Okay, so we're moving on, and I want to just again thank you guys for hanging in there with us on the technology. That was Mayor Alan Weber. So we're very, thank you, Mayor, for your words of encouragement to the LaRance family. And the next person that was also very touched by this young man's life is probably one of the most important film directors in Indian country and also in the world, and that is director Chris Eyre. And Chris was gracious enough to bring us also a message for the LaRance family. So let's see if we can cue that up as well.
Hi, I'm Chris Eyre. When I heard the news late last month that Nakotah LaRance had passed on, my heart sank. I thought about his entire family, and I thought about the times that we'd spent together laughing and talking. I also thought about the many, many people around the world that Nakotah had touched, and those here close at home in New Mexico, where he was able to share his gifts with the world, his gift of movement and dance. I recalled the personal pride that we all took watching Nakotah perform, and watching the audiences that were discovering him for the first time. I remember smiling proudly as he would ignite the audience with his many, many talents. And I'd smile even larger, realizing that they discovered him too, and that they discovered what we all already knew, that Nakotah could fly. Looking back, what I appreciate most about Nakotah and watching him perform was the fact that he didn't just make the steps or play the notes. He actually transcended the movement. He channeled something deeper than him and was able to show it to us. Nakotah would actually take flight in the room, and we were all there to witness it. He transcended the movements and made them something bigger than himself. He didn't merely do the steps and play the notes. He gave us something from the other side. Nakotah channeled something and showed us something more. And for that, I will always be grateful. Nakotah showed us love. Nakotah shared his gift of dance and movement with people around the world, young and old. He taught young people to dance, to move, to get up. And I'll say that I'm very proud that Nakotah was able to show the rest of the world what a real Indian looks like. When Nakotah danced, the people were happy. I want to say thank you to Nakotah's family, his mother, Marianne, his father, Steve, for allowing me these words. Nakotah will be sorely missed. Nakotah was a gift, and I just like to say, we'll keep on dancing. Thank you.
That was so beautiful and so well put. Thank you so much, Chris, for putting that together for us. You really said pretty much everything there was to say. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. As many of you know, Nakotah, I don't know if I mentioned, was a 10-time world hoop championship hoop dancer, and he had been touring with Cirque du Soleil for the last 5 years. So for us as Native Americans, not only was he gifted and talented, but he was really making quite an impact on the world about what it meant to be Native. And as I think George had mentioned, his talents really were vast in dance. So not only was he a hoop dancer, but he was also very skilled in a lot of other types of dance. So the next person I'm going to bring on also did a beautiful segment for us. And she is the director of the Brooklyn Ballet. She's the founding artistic director. Her name is Lynn Parkerson, and she was really touched by this young man's life. So here's a little message from Lynn.
Hello, my name is Lynn Parkerson, and I'm the founding artistic director of Brooklyn Ballet. I'm here to say a few words about the great Nakotah LaRance, who performed in the Brooklyn Nutcracker from 2016 through 2019. He was one of the big stars of the production. He had his own special way of blending tradition, his tradition, with contemporary art, dance, hip-hop dance. And this vibrant meshing of Native culture and Brooklyn's great contemporary dance culture was just a huge hit. The way he related to the hip-hop dancers, the children, the audiences, he was just beloved, and I'm going to be committed to continuing his legacy with Native culture in the Brooklyn Nutcracker for years to come. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. And Lynn, by the way, although she wanted to be able to come on live, wanted me to mention that if any of you want to see her her video that she did of the Nutcracker, you can go onto YouTube and just look for Brooklyn Ballet, and you will see the Nutcracker, and you'll see the part that Nakotah brought in to the whole production, which is really something special. And the next person I want to bring in is someone who I feel is really important, especially right now. She is bringing on the first virtual platform of Indian Market. And I'll tell you what, if there wasn't a time when we needed to have these artists promoted, it's now, because as many of you know, I would be in Santa Fe right now, and we would be in Indian Market. And this is Kim Peone. She is the director of SWAIA, who they put on Indian Market every year, but they do so much more than that. They're busy all year long promoting Native arts and are very, very important to the artists who come from Indian country. So let me see if I can get Kim here on live. Hi, Kim. Welcome to
Hi,
Art of the City.
good to see you.
Good to see you, and I'm so glad we were able to make the connection, because you know this sometimes we fight the technology that we depend on. So I appreciate you coming on.
Running around trying to get ready for our live auction tomorrow, and so I'm actually in Cody Sanderson's studio. And so after I get done just really talking about how this was impactful for us as an organization, Nakotah was not only one of our stars for our fashion show, but truly was a gentleman who had a heart for the youth. And that's near and dear to my heart, just in reference to who I am and how I see our millennials, and you know, that is our next generation. And so, Ruth-Ann, thank you for inviting me, and thank you for allowing me to give my condolences to the family, and that on behalf of SWAIA, we truly are brokenhearted by the passing of this young man, and we just wanted to bring that to you and just say thank you for allowing us to do that.
Thank you, Kim. And also thank you for all you're doing this year. I know that this has been one of those topsy-turvy, upside down years, and you guys have done a fabulous job just, you know, trying to keep things going. And I know it hasn't been easy. So thank you so much for what you do. Very much appreciated.
So do you want me to pass the baton?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. So, you know, aside from what we're doing, I mean, truly our true north is our artists. And, you know, Cody has donated a piece to our benefit, and I just appreciate artists who are supporting us at this time. So without further ado, I'm gonna let him come on and speak with your audience. Thank you so much, Ruth-Ann. Have a great day.
Okay, thank you.
Hey.
Hey, Cody, how are you there?
I'm doing great, thank you.
So I know that you have had some really great experiences with Nakotah, in your time as an artist, and that you've participated in a few events together. Mm-hmm. What are your feelings towards this great loss?
Oh man, what a tragedy! And he was like, he was everyone's son. He wasn't just the community or village or anything. He was everyone's. Definitely made an impact on me. Definitely made as a young man. My son Brandon and him did a movie back a few years ago called Into the West, and my son and two other boys and Nakotah were the core four boys in the production. And since then, that's when I first met him. And then he went and done his dancing. I think it's Toronto, I believe, or Quebec. And then he, got some international fame there. And then after that, I would periodically see him in different places in the country. And one of the best places I saw him was when we were in Tokyo, and just had a great time, good fun, good people, and that's the beauty of this whole industry in art and music or dance. We can see our fellow friends in different cities, different parts of the world, and we just kind of happen to intersect everywhere. They may call me, hey, where are you today, Cody? Oh, I'm in Beijing. And where are you? I'm in LA, but I'll be in Tokyo next week. I'll be in Tokyo. Let's go. Let's get together. And that was kind of how it was with Nakotah. And we would be able to get together. And, like I said, my boy hung out with him and Brandon. And he was really a friend to the family and a friend to a lot of people. He was a good guy. I can't say enough of him. I will say that what Nakotah did is he lived, and he lived, on the edge, literally on buildings, on. He just always was doing something, some little form of little parkour, jumping around. We used to spar together. He used to be in martial arts. I was in martial arts for many years, and we'd do this hand techniques and trying to strike. But it was a different level of excitement, and no fear of the camera, no fear of maybe embarrassing himself. It was just he lived, and that's what I do love about him. Is he lived, and he lived on the edge, and he didn't have any regrets that I could see.
It's true. And I can see that, you guys inspired each other because, like you do the same. And I think that, we kind of sharpen each other. And I think the thing that I really love about what you're doing, Cody, is that you're bringing one element of who we are as Native people into the world through your jewelry. And Nakotah brought it through dance. And the beautiful thing is it will be here forever. That legacy will not go away because it's being passed down to the next generation, just kind of like you're teaching kids how to make jewelry. And we talked about that in that last interview we did. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you, Ruth-Ann. And I'm really, thank you so much for bringing this to attention of a number of other people that may not have known him or may not have known who he was. He's an amazing individual, and we should all be so lucky to have met him. We should all do half his accomplishments in the time he did his.
Yes, agreed. Okay, my friend, go to that auction. Make sure I get that link. I'm going to have to bid on that ring.
You bet. I have a bracelet that I donated.
Okay, even better.
There you go. And I think he'll fit you.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll see you soon. You guys be well over there.
All right, you take care.
Okay, bye. Okay, folks, so we have been so blessed with so many people coming on to the show and sharing their experience with this young man. But there's one person that I'd really like to get onto the show, and I haven't seen him stream in yet, and that is Steve LaRance. That's the father of Nakotah, who was the one that has really encouraged him, along with all of his children. Every single one of his children are talented in one way or another. His sister, who was planning on dancing, Steve, and I hope he doesn't mind me sharing, just lost his father 2 days ago. So this is something that kind of changed our scheduling here for this tribute. And it's been kind of a tough blow with having these very close family members in this short amount of time have these tragedies. But also his father was in his 90s, so Steve said that he lived a really beautiful life. And I think I'm getting Steve to come on now. But I'd really love for Steve to share about his son. I know that it might be a little bit tender to his heart, and I know his daughter decided that she wasn't really ready to perform based on the circumstances. But let's see if we can get Steve to come on here.
One second.
Hi there, Steve. Can you see me?
Hi, Ruth-Ann.
Okay, great. So, Steve, what are your thoughts on all these amazing people coming forth to share their thoughts about your son? And really, this is not only a tribute to your son, but it's a tribute to your family, because the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And you have nurtured in your children all of this incredible artistic talent that comes really from you and your wife, and then trickles down in so many different ways. I want to just give you the platform here, Steve, to share how you're feeling right now.
Thank you, Ruth-Ann. First of all, we just really, on behalf of the Nakotah LaRance family, we just want to thank everybody for all their kind words and the messages of support that we've received worldwide. It's really helped us in our healing. So we just want to say that to begin with on behalf of my wife, Marion Denapah. This is my oldest daughter, Najoni Denapah, and my son, Cree LaRance, as well as my daughter, Sonwai LaRance, and my granddaughter, Shade Faye Young. We're just so touched by all of the love and support we've received worldwide, and all of our friends at Nakotah really touched. We want to tell everybody that we're going to rededicate ourselves to Nakotah's legacy by empowering the youth through the Lightning Boy Foundation and through art and following his passion for just being a kind, human, and compassionate person. So we're dedicated to continuing to create beauty in the world through our art and through our dedication to the youth. And one thing that really touched me is somebody sent us a message of support, and the message was that God, the Creator, gives us these gifts and our talents to enrich our lives, but also to enrich the lives of those people around us. And Nakotah did that with his life. So we're very proud of the life that he led, and we're proud of the fact that the most important thing to Nakotah was the youth. So we're going to continue that through the Lightning Boy Foundation to empower the Native youth, letting them know that this is our land. And another point, a message that Nakotah did through film and through television, we talk mostly about his hoop dancing accomplishments, but a lot of people also know that he was a very accomplished actor as well. And when it came to acting or dancing, his first choice was always he would want to dance. So if there was a movie offer or a conflict with one of his contractual dance obligations, he would always pick dancing over acting. But he was really accomplished in acting. He was just a natural talent. And So if you have a chance, look into some of his film and television as well. There's a lot of video of him on YouTube. So the message of his talent and enriching people through his dance and through his acting, and the way he lived his life, being compassionate, kind, and Nakotah in the Assiniboine language means friend to all, and he truly was a friend to all. You could meet him in 2 minutes and be his best friend after that. One of the funny things that I remember is that when we first did move to New Mexico, we met George Rivera and his family, Felicia, and we got together and we decided to create this youth hoop dance group. Our first group was with the Pueblo of Pewaukee Youth Hoop Dancers, and we worked with them for about 4 or 5 years. We traveled all over the world. We traveled to places like France, Italy, Geneva, Switzerland. He took his kids with him everywhere. And when Valentino was alive, it really opened up the door for Valentino as well in his short life. Valentino was able to travel to all of these countries with us. He was able to travel to Hawaii and dance for the veterans. Valentino was a special guest for the USS Santa Fe when they returned to harbor in Hawaii, and they wanted him to come and dance for them. So we were so proud that Nakotah empowered Valentino with this hoop dance, but he also empowered all the other youth here in our community, but also other youth in other Native communities, because he did workshops in other tribal communities as well. But he was a multi-talented person, but to him, just being a kind human being was something that he carried with him throughout his life. So again, we want to thank you on behalf of our family for all the love and compassion that you've shown us, and it helps us. And we've had a rough summer, but we're going to get through it. So thank you to everybody out there who's helped us heal. And we look forward to having you come to one of our performances with our youth in the near future. And we want everybody to be safe and to be well and to practice social distancing, wearing a mask, and we'll beat this COVID. And so we all want to get together with you again soon. So thank you so much, Ruth-Ann.
That is so beautiful, Steve. So beautiful. Well, I think that, they say that life is not measured by how long you live, but by the amount of people that you impact. And the way that your son impacted the world will be a legacy that will continue on forever. And you hear, this is just a few people that are reaching out to share their thoughts about your son, his legacy, and who you folks are as a family. So I just want you to be encouraged to know that he will not be forgotten, and he will not be forgotten for many reasons. Many people were touched, but also we've preserved in the archives these dances. He's on film. All of these things will continue on. And not only will they continue on for the sake of art, for the sake of those people who have been impacted, but also for us as Native people, because your son really showed the world that not only are we still here as Natives, but we are thriving, and we continue to give back to the world in a way that nobody else can, because this all comes from our history. This comes from our ancestors who have blessed us and have gone through so much so that we can still be here. So I know that our elders and our ancestors are looking down today, and they're so pleased at the turnout of people who have so many beautiful things to say. And that all stems from you folks as a family. So
Thank you, Ruth-Ann. Thank you very much for that.
Really beautiful. So I thought I would close out. I'm going to take you folks off the screen, but keep watching. And I want to close out with something very special. Thank you, guys. Be blessed as a family.
Thank you.
One of the reasons my heart was so touched by this young man, I had an opportunity to see him dance in Santa Fe at an event. But I think what sparked me more than anything was the realization that Art of the City, during our live streaming during COVID, we were the last person or the last venue, if you will, to capture him live as a live performance. And he was so gracious when COVID first, we got the first lockdown, to come on to my show and to bless us with a performance. And he just had a little window and he said, yes, I will do that. So I thought it would be appropriate to close out the tribute to this powerful human being that walked the earth with us and show you the last recording of Nakotah LaRance here live from Art of the City. So enjoy this, folks. Well, folks, that was our tribute for Nakotah LaRance. I hope you enjoyed it. Be blessed, be safe. Let us make sure that we appreciate each other. And I hope that everyone stays well out there. And we'll see you again here on Art of the City.